number one watched country for my channel outside of the US is... What's up, everybody? Today I am at King Nature Park in my home county of Cache County, Utah. I have a few targets today. Black-throated gray warbler is one of them. I've seen them this year, but I haven't seen them in my home county. I would love to pick those up. And blue-gray gnatcatcher with the same situation going on with them. But also today, I thought it would be really cool to talk about birds that I want to see from the top 5 most watched countries that watch my YouTube channel. This is going to be excluding the United States because I talk about US birds all the time. These are the rest of y'all's birds in the world. So we're going to start off that list in a minute here, and let's see what birds we can find. All right, so number 5 on my list for the country that watches my channel the most, sitting at number 5, is the Netherlands. And for the Netherlands, I am picking the Eurasian spoonbill. Also, shout out to the Dutch birder for this one. Something interesting about the Eurasian spoonbill is that it can live up to 28 years. That's pretty incredible. There's not a lot of animals that can live 28 years. Another thing is that despite its large size, it's a pretty silent bird. It rarely makes any noise at all, but I guess it's kind of similar to our great blue herons over here. They also rarely make noise as well. During breeding season, their bill goes from black, or the tip of their bill goes from black to an orangish yellow color as well. So overall, it's a really cool bird. I would love to see that bird in the Netherlands. Now, this list was a little bit difficult because there are 3 European areas or countries on this list, and they share a lot of the same birds. So some of these birds are going to be shared across the countries that I'm talking about today, but Eurasian spoonbill for the Netherlands at number 5. Every time I come to King Nature Park, I think it's going to be different. Oh, I just was unlucky and I didn't see that many birds. And every time it's the same story. I don't see hardly any birds. We'll see if we can get anything on camera, but so far it's almost dead silent. Although now that I'm talking, there's some chipping sparrows that are chipping, which is one of the few birds that I have on my list. Just kidding, that wasn't a chipping sparrow. Those were lazuli buntings. So got lazuli bunting down on the list for the day. That is a pretty common bird, especially in this canyon right here. There are tons of lazuli buntings. But yeah, let's move on to number 4, the number 4 most watched country on my list and what bird I want to find. At number 4 is India, or the bird that I want to find most in India. Now, here's the thing. India has some pretty amazing looking birds, so it was really hard to narrow it down and choose one. But the bird that I want to find most in India is the Indian paradise flycatcher. Now, this bird is absolutely stunning. They're socially monogamous, meaning that they will share parenting responsibilities like feeding their young, for example. The males have super long tails, but those take about 2 to 3 years to grow in. So before that, they have a shorter tail and kind of look like the females do. But an absolutely stunning bird. When they're building their nests, sometimes they'll build it near another bird called a drungo. Now, the drungo will make sure that the predators stay away from them and help them protect their nests and their young. So that's a pretty cool adaptation that they've gone through to go through that. So definitely on my list. If you are from any of these countries and you think there's a bird I should check out, let me know in the comments below. I kid you not, I just had a chipping sparrow fly, boom, take off part of my ear, fly right past me. I like completely kinked my neck trying to get away from it. That was crazy. I just got dive bombed hardcore by a chipping sparrow. I was looking for it in this tree. I looked down at my phone for 1 second and boom, like the wind was crazy. It grazed my ear. Absolutely insane. I want to move away from this spot. It's a little territorial. What's up, everybody? New location. I am now near Hunter Park in Utah County. Yesterday, obviously, we didn't see a ton of birds. We saw some lazuli buntings. Got one of those on camera, so that was pretty cool. But overall, the bird activity was low. Hoping that this location will yield a better result as we talk about the last 3 most watched countries on the YouTube channel and what birds I want to see from those countries. So let's find us some birds today and see what we can find. Just picked up a mourning dove to add to our list. Obviously, that is a really common bird. But at this point, I'm going to take whatever I can get. These type of videos that I do, the top 5 list videos, allow me to bird a lot more slowly, appreciate some of the more common species, but also be able to provide a little bit of entertainment in creating these type of lists for you guys. So although we're not seeing incredible birds yet, we still get to talk about some incredible birds that eventually one day I want to be able to see. Number 3 on my list for most watched country for the channel is Sweden. Now this is another European country, so this bird also shares a range with other European countries, but that is the black woodpecker. I think this bird would be absolutely amazing to see. It is by far the largest species of woodpecker in Europe and in some parts of Asia as well. It looks absolutely stunning. It's all black, it's got a red crest. I would love to see this bird. It's like the pileated woodpecker of Europe. So they're really hard to see though. They're pretty elusive, they're shy, they don't like to pop out and let people get good looks of them. So it would be kind of a challenge coming across this bird and being able to film it. They are pretty vocal though, so you do hear them, but of course I would want to see one. If you can't tell, August and September for me is probably the hardest time of year for birding. The leaves are in full force still. They haven't started falling yet, at least here in Utah. The birds have lost their breeding plumage and they aren't up singing as much as they were, or in some cases at all. And so they're a lot more hunkered down. And then when you do see them, it's fleeting looks. So I've seen a few Western tanagers. I'll put prior footage up on screen so you can know what that bird looks like. But again, the looks are really, really quick and it's really, really hard to see them. I just haven't had the best of luck. Again, we're gonna continue walking down this path out here. This park is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful sunsets showing around here, so I'll let you know if we find anything. I'm about 2 hours south of where I was yesterday, and we have another lazuli bunting to add to the video for today. It seems like whenever I do these videos and I can't find anything, the one bird that always comes through is the lazuli bunting. That's a good bird to have because it's absolutely beautiful, although right now it is course a little bit more drab, so it's a lot more gray with only little highlights of blue, but in breeding plumage is absolutely gorgeous. Really like seeing that bird regardless. Number 2 most watched country on my list is the UK. Shout out to the Backyard Aviary Adventures. Now the bird that I want to most see in the UK is the Western capercaillie. I know this is a very sought after bird. It's extremely difficult to find. It's really elusive, it's really shy, doesn't like to be seen. It's similar to our grouse out here in the United States, but a lot bigger than that. They're also pretty threatened and endangered. There's only 600 estimated left in the UK, and you can only find them in the pine woods of Scotland. For those in the US that know nothing about the UK, kind of like I do, yes, Scotland is part of the UK. So Western capercaillie would be absolutely incredible. It is one of the most iconic birds from that region. I would love to see one of those. Chances are low. Even if I make it out to the UK, chances are low, but that would be an absolute dream come true to see such a majestic creature as that one. These birds are declining so rapidly that they are at risk of extinction. They could disappear in the next couple of decades or even decade. They're going that fast. So there's got to be a way to save those birds. They're absolutely iconic and just amazing creatures overall. They deserve to be fought over and protected, so we need to do all that we can to save them. Picked up an American kestrel before we left that last location. Just before sunset, I decided to switch locations because there wasn't a lot of birds there. And we are now at Highland Glen Park. New location, not too far away. But we picked up 2 Woodhouse's scrub jays, one of the most iconic birds of Utah. The number 1 watched country for my channel outside of the US is Canada. No surprise there, we share a lot of the same birds. But the bird that I want to see the most in Canada is the white-tailed ptarmigan. Now this bird is absolutely incredible. In the winter, it turns white, it has its white plumage, and in the summer, it gets a buffy brown camouflage as well. So that's pretty amazing. It has its own variable camouflage. This is often hunted in places like Alaska, for example, and in Canada. It is considered, I think, a game bird. What's funny about this actually is that I could probably find white-tailed ptarmigan if I go to the right spot in the state of Utah. They've been introduced to my own state here, and there's a population of them living in the Uintas. So someday, maybe we will attempt, we have to go up super high. They're a super high elevation bird. They live at the tops of mountains, and so they're really hard to get to. But someday we will go search for those in my state, and then maybe someday we'll go find those in Canada as well. Unfortunately, not a lot of birds in this video, but stay tuned because next video I am going camping back on Monroe. We're gonna check out some new spots, hopefully see some new birds. We're also gonna go owling up there, so stay tuned for that video. It's coming up on Wednesday. Let me know in the comments below, out of these 5 countries, what would be your top bird that you would want to see out of these countries. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I hope to see you all next time on Bright Eyed Birding.